Hey guys, what's up? We're back with another episode of the Reich Guy on archiveofourown.org. I'm Hillary Clinton.
And I'm Penis.
And today we're going to be on Chapter 4 by, of course, the King Furry. So, here we go. Chapter 4, True Survivor. While rummaging through the hallways, I found a scroll and snapped its neck. I grabbed it and put it in my pocket for when I saw Black Hitler again. He would understand the lovely offering. I had to go to my least favorite class. I bit my lip as I crescent the moon, kicked the door open. So nice for you to join us today, me teacher giggled as she stood from her desk. She was a kind, gentle vampire by the name of DeCoss. I demand silence in my courtroom, she said, standing in an anime protagonist pose and pointing at her. Then I pointing the floor with me thumb, and your jury just got hung. Peter, this isn't law. This isn't even your class. Before the teacher could finish her sentence, I elbowed her in the nose. When she was discombobulated, I knew it was the perfect moment to attack with a flying crane kick to the gut when a tiger's claw to the neck. She fell out instantly. I snickered at her unconscious body and licked the blood from my hand. Looks like this case is closed. An elf raised her hand, concerned. Is there, any reason you just did that, or you just kinda felt the need to ruin our class, she asked. I picked up the teacher's desk and threw it at her. You cannot question authority without the permission of authority, I shouted. Then I fell back and slid out of the classroom to my actual class. As I twinkle-toed into the classroom, my friend Eric threw a knife in my direction. Eric was a huge blood werewolf who looked like he went to jail for baking a man a pie then ripping his throat out. In reality, it was a cake, and he ripped out his liver, too. I laughed as the knife pierced my eye. Haha, good ol' Eric, I chuckled, wiping blood from my eye. Eric ripped off his shirt and banged his head into the into the desk repeatedly before licking the knife out of my eye, all while screaming the lyrics of Boyfriend by Justin Bieber. Why were you late for the mother-flocking class, baby strudel? He asked. I shrugged. I had the right to wrongs of this generation by destroying one of our prime mistakes in the educational system. I Jensen Ackles did. He shrugged a mighty shrug that was felt throughout the entire school from his mighty shoulders. That's fine. Our teacher is also a piece of crap and late. In the meantime, I heard you have a cute as fuck boyfriend. My hair blushed red. Who told you? I giggled like a wild salmon escaping the doom-riddled fangs of a brown bear. Eric broke me desk on his head and then proceeded to eat it. Your fucking boyfriend did, he said and gestured to the wad of cement perfectly crafted into a sexy, sexy gargoyle. My Kokoro did indeed go doki doki. Why were you talking to the sexy Stalins? How did you know? How did you know? I just assumed that I, Eric Ripper, knew you because we have the same left canine tooth, he said and picked me up with his perfect left canine tooth like a mother cat with her three-legged baby kitten. He then dragged me across the room by me neck and dropped me next to Stalin. Be with your boyfriend, or I'll fucking shank you with your family with this itty-bitty little spoon, he gurgled. Foam began to form all around his mouth as he ripped another kid's arm off and jumped out the window. Wow, that boy was a wild ride. I'm glad to have him as me best mate. Sexy Stalin watched the scene unfold and grimaced, then looked at me and put a gun to my head. You must be after my power, he growled. He pulled the trigger, and a little heart-shaped ball of human meat fell out. Because you've overthrown my heart. Oh, sexy Stalin, I swooned, chewing on the chunk of flesh. How romantic. I then spat the meat out. This tastes familiar. That's because it is your mother's arm flesh. I cut off all your parents' appendages in case they're to try to overthrow me, and I made them into little heart-shaped trinkets for my sweetheart. He smiled. His teeth were as perfect as communism sounded in theory. I chuckled. He was so sentimental. Do you know where our teacher is, sexy Stalin? I began to chuckle, his laughter calm and beautiful, like the sweet embrace of death once the bullet wounds finally ended your pitiful existence. I killed him. He told me, welcome to school, an obvious threat upon my life. I had not idea what he said. It just sounded really pretty. Dang, Russian accents are nice. The bell rang and it was time for my free period, also known as dance class. Sexy Stalin kissed my forehead, leaving a little ring of wet cement on my head. Meet me after school during color guard practice, and we shall sing As Democracy Fall and Communism Rises Again, he enchanted. I giggled and waved to Sexy Stalin, who shot me with a bazooka, thinking I was trying to kill him. You know how boys are, haha. I phased from my classroom into the gym where dance class took place. Among the fairies and elves and characters that were actually graceful was the most glorious of them all, a fawn named Pikachu. He was so glorious that a majority of the other creatures started to melt in his presence. I too began to melt, because, well, Mama, you should have seen that man's moves. They were simply amazing. I prepared to learn how to twerk when Pikachu stopped. His eyes began to glow the color of Communist Manifesto. It's time, he shouted, in a voice that sent shivers down both of my spines, because I have two. You ain't gonna call me spineless, son. Pikachu then started to fizz and spit sparkles onto us, giving us the ability to be great dancers. He leaped into the air, then finally fell to the ground in the most beautiful pirouette a half-goat man could muster. Then his head burst open and Zayn Malik emerged from the blood, accompanied by two very fabulous werepoodles. Hey, it's me, Zayn Malik, said him. Zayn Malik. I was surprised. I kicked the fairy next to me in the groin, causing them to barf sparkles. Zaynathan, I shouted as I wiggled over to him. You cannot be present in this area. This is a student-only area. Oh, but I, Zayn Malik, can be whatever I please. I please to be here and tell you that my super hot dance team are going to destroy you and all those who dance for the forces of good. I cannot believe my knees. He, Zayn Malik, was going to dance the good out of the world. Tears started to form in my hair. Then I remembered something. Hey you, Zayn Malik, you're on our team. He, Zayn Malik, gasped a loud gasp. You're absolutely correct. I, Zayn Malik, am a good vampire, the goodest vampire. I do not belong with these lycanthropes. The Poodle Man began to do the worm aggressively towards him, Zayn Malik, and I. You guys cannot escape our ultra super sexy wrath. He, Zayn Malik, grabbed my hand. Look, Peter, we have to fight this wrath. Together. I looked that vampire in his sultry pop star eyes. Sign me the fuck up. And that concludes Chapter 4 of the Reich